welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go. Hello, sweet friends. If you are listening to this podcast in real time, I hope you are having a lovely holiday week and just enjoying all the festivities that Christmas has to offer. And I just think there's something beautiful about this time of year. And also, if you're like me and you have littles home, it can also be wild and chaotic and just a lot of things. So hope you take a minute right now to take a deep breath, put your hand on your heart, and give yourself grace. This is also the end of the year, and I think so much can come up around like, why haven't I done that yet or accomplished this yet? And it can be so easy to be hard on ourselves. So if you missed the podcast episode where I talked about listing your top 10 wins of the year, make sure that you go back and you actually do that. I would love to hear your top 10 wins of the year. It's such a super simple but really life-changing exercise. And I am so excited for today's episode, which is a little present from me to you, which is something I do with my mastermind ladies twice a quarter, which is a dream day, a CEO dream day. And I really feel like before the new year cracks, it's the perfect time to ask yourself and set yourself some intentions for your business and intentions for your life in a really soft and gentle way. So I'm going to walk you through the 6 simple steps, and I'm actually going to give you access to a workbook. It's not an official freebie, but I will give you my Google Drive link so you can download this Simple Dream Day workbook. And I have a little video tutorial I'm happy to give you. Just email me at anna@heartcenteredentrepreneur.com and I will send it your way. And I hope this gives you just some extra time for you. I think during the holidays, it can be so easy to spend time on everyone else. And it's safe for you to take 15 minutes, 20 minutes for you and your dreams and your desires. If you've never heard me talk about this desire dump exercise before, it's something I developed about 3 years ago. And I do it really almost every month now. But I think it's especially good to do once a quarter or once a year. And really the first step is just taking a blank piece of paper and writing down all of your desires, big or small. As heart-centered women, we're so conditioned to ask what other people need, especially when you are already making money in your business. You have clients to take care of, you have littles at home maybe to take care of, right? But really taking a pause and being like, what am I wanting? What am I craving lately? When it comes to material things, it's safe to want material things. When it comes to experiences, big, small, I actually have a more in-depth prompts that I share with my mastermind ladies around this. But I think the first thing to do is just have a blank piece of paper and endure the discomfort of 10 minutes and seeing if you can start to fill the page. And what I find for almost all my clients is first, it starts out with crickets, like, oh, I don't know if I want anything, right? But then once it starts flowing, you can't stop. And maybe even for the next few days, like more ideas and inspiration and desires come to mind, right? So that's step 1 is just writing that down. And it might look like, I want to make 6 figures in my business this year. I want to serve 20 clients, right? I want to grow my mastermind and fill that with 20 clients, right? I want to have a course with an automated webinar so that it's kind of making automated sales, right? Just at a gut level, what do you want and not making yourself wrong for it? And maybe I have this affirmation that really served me, which is it's safe to know exactly what I want and to ask for it directly, or even like it's safe to know what I want and take action on it. Because I think so often we think like it's a little bit less magical, or like if we say something we want, we're less likely to get it. No, it's safe for you to want something and to work towards it. So this desire dump is just really a rough draft. Doesn't mean you have to work towards it. but it's just you dumping out everything. I want to make lavender Play-Doh with my kids that I saw on TikTok, right? I want to learn more Spanish. I want to this, I want to that. And really believing that I always teach my clients in Sell with Heart, right? As they're working on making six figures, and really the ultimate goal is taking home six figures, your business over time is going to get more boring. And that's a good thing. We want a boring business in the sense of we want stability. We want a lot of income coming in. We want predictability. We want systems, right? And so the boringer your business gets, we want our life to become more exciting. And so it can be useful to just really get clear on, maybe my business won't be as filled with adrenaline, but my life can be. And I'm allowed to have any desire on the planet. And me getting my desires fulfilled is not going to hurt or harm anyone else, right? I remember when I first started dancing bachata, I had this fear of like, oh, if I take dance lessons, or like, what if like as I'm driving to the dance lesson, I get hurt? Or like, I think we have this thing of like, the things that make us happy will innately somehow harm or hurt those we most love. And I really had to grapple with, no, like it's safe for me to have happiness, and that will add to the happiness of people I love, right? Okay, so pause this and spend 10 minutes doing your desire dump. I would love to hear what comes up for you. And then after you do that, the next step is deciding. I look at all my beautiful desires and I just honor them. In the mastermind, I even have the ladies say this out loud to each other because it can feel a little gutsy sometimes to say what we want. And then deciding like, what is the top thing I'm wanting in my life and what is the top thing I'm wanting in my business? Narrowing it down to that. I also, because I'm an ENFP, like have a list of runners up where I will write down like, okay, I don't have margin to do this year, but in the future, I do want to make this thing happen, right? But really getting clear on what is it? Do you want to make this your 6-figure year in business? Owning it. Owning that is a big goal. And then maybe there's like another personal goal. Like for me, my personal goal next year is to travel international with my kids. So we booked some plane tickets to Ireland. I'm super stoked, but I'm also hoping to make it to Canada, to Japan. And I think for me, when you get clear on just one life desire and one business desire, it just helps you prioritize things, right? Because just like you, we're human and we only have so much energy. We only have so much mental capacity. We only have so much resources, but really getting clear on what's most important to me and why, and giving yourself permission to go after that big desire. Also in this process, if there's like some like tiny desires that surface along the way that I can just like buy on Amazon in 5 minutes, I just give myself permission to do it, right? Like I just recently bought, there's these Lululemon socks that I have loved for like 2 years, but I only had 2 pairs of them. And I noticed I would just like wash them and rewear them and like wear none of my other socks. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, why don't I buy all of these socks? Because I love them so much. And so I just, went online and bought like 15 of the same pair of socks that I've been loving so much for the last few years. And I think sometimes it's just giving ourselves permission to do it. Or maybe you've been wanting to like try this new restaurant. Maybe you just text your hubby or text your bestie and be like, hey, I'm making us reservations for this new place on December 15th. Are you down? Right? So if any of the things you can do in like less than 15 minutes or you have the capacity, just do it. Just treat yourself. Like that doesn't have to be a long-term thing, right? After you decide, next is doubts. All this is in the workbook, don't worry. But really getting clear on what are some of the doubts or fears I have with this desire, whether it comes to failing at it, or maybe it's like, what if I get this thing and then it's not what I want, or it creates more work or more responsibility? What I hear from so many women that are working towards 6 figures in their business is like, yes, I want that, but also like, or they'll be like, well, I just want to make like 60K because in their mind, that feels like it'll be less demanding or make them less of a bad mom. Or like, I think it's so interesting to just get clear on like, what are our fears around these big dreams and desires? What do we think we'll have to sacrifice or give up along the way? And often we don't. So just bringing that to light. If this happened, then what would I be nervous about? Or if this didn't happen, what would I be nervous about? People judging me, right? For me, that fear of success is always the strongest. Like, what if I get this thing and then I disappoint my clients? Or what if I get this thing and then I'm not able to, have the freedom that I wanted when I was selling out my coaching practice before I went on my maternity leave? I was like, what if I pre-sign all these clients in advance and then I decide when I come back, I don't want to work with them? And then the other fear was like, what if when I come back, they don't want to work with me? Fortunately, we both wanted to work with each other and everything was fine. But I think it's just like saying it out loud. And for me, like I almost make emergency plans. I was like, I'll just refund them or whatever, right? Like just reminding yourself that we cannot predict the future, and almost always like the fears we have don't come true. And the ones that do, we're strong and resilient and we can handle it. And so instead of trying to be perfect, just like relying on our ability to be supported and resilient. Next section is dream. I love this section so much. And this is really creating some sort of visual for yourself. I am a big fan of cutting up magazines and making little vision boards and just giving yourself permission, even if you're not, quote, artistic, to just make something, even if it's not a work of art. And I have mine in my little meditation corner, and it's just been a really big blessing to have that. A lot of my clients too, when we do this in the mastermind, we actually pull up Canva. And, if you Google on Canva vision board templates, there's a lot of them. And then you can just search for images and literally do that in Canva in about 5 minutes. And that can be a great way to visualize the biggest business desire and the biggest life desire. I like to put images. I also like to put words, like if I have a phrase or a feeling or a color. And this goes along with the next section, which is declare, right? Declaring just means being able to focus on that desire for the next 90 days. And I like to do this through an affirmation. So if it's like, I want to make 6 figures in my business, the affirmation could be like, I make 6 figures on part-time hours while still making it a priority to be a patient and present mama, right? I think we think, making more money is going to mean that we're less XYZ or something that's not aligned with our values. And so I think it's reminding ourselves that it's safe for me to make more money and what? Be a patient and present mom, be a heart-centered business owner, right? But having an affirmation so that you can keep that goal top of mind every day, whether it's on your vision board, on a sticky note on your computer, maybe it is on the Think Up app if you like to listen to your affirmations out loud, but really giving yourself permission to every day focus on it, because that's when you're actually going to take action around it, right? You're like, oh yeah, that's my goal. I need to actually do that thing. So a lot of my clients combine this with the visual, but that's up to you. And finally is daily action. This is potentially my favorite part. But again, really a way for you daily to actually take action on this goal so that it's not just theory, that you are daily processing around it. I have a mindset Google Doc practice that I do almost every day, sometimes twice a day. And it is just basically a form of journaling where I have 6 core areas I check in on. I'll include the link for you in the show notes. But it really helps me work towards my goals every day. And there's one section that's like pouring it out, just brain dumping and processing. One section for that affirmation, so you can rewrite it every day like it's truth. A section for gratitudes, wins, priority actions, and surrendering or prayers. And I really find these 6 areas daily are what move you towards that big desire in the long run. But in order to do that, you first have to get clear on what that big desire is, right? And that's why it's so important to take that time to brain dump, to get clear on that big desire. That way, day to day, as you're processing, you're making sure you're focused on that desire. I hope that this is useful for you. Hopefully, just like a quick and dirty method for you to really basically set goals that work. I feel like there's so many like New Year's resolution situations that don't work. And this is something that's really sustainable because, again, yeah, do it at the start of the year, but I like to do this really about every month, or I do this with my mastermind girlies every quarter, because we just don't make space for it. And it is shocking. Like at the end of 1 hour, the mastermind girls will have gotten clear on their goals, refreshed their goals, have their affirmations, have their vision board done. Like you can really get all of it done if you have that support there. And so I just think this is something like a beautiful rinse and repeat process to just always get clear on what you're most desiring and make it happen faster, whether it's more money or, a personal desire. So I hope this helps you. Again, I'm happy to send you over that workbook and video. And if you want to vision board with me, I would love to invite you to apply for the mastermind. It only takes 10 minutes and it's just a way to CEO check in on the support you need for this next chapter. And I would love to help you if you already have an existing business and you are a coach or a done-for-you provider and you're really looking to create complete financial stability with 6 figures. And then really the goal should be taking home 6 figures in your business. That's what you deserve. That's what you are capable of if you're working a corporate job. And I would love to help you do it with heart, with soft energy, on part-time hours, even while you're balancing being a patient and present mama or whatever is important to you and your values. Let's chat. Fill out that application and then that unlocks a 30-minute clarity call with me and we can chat through your goals. And I would love to support you. I would love to hold space for you because, again, like the strategy of all this is so simple, but it takes courage to actually act out on it and see your desires come to life. And I would love to help you do this. Okay, one more reminder to be extra gentle, extra kind, extra gracious to yourself, to think the best of yourself, to self-mother yourself, to treat yourself like you treat your best friends, with generosity, with good intent, self-forgiveness, self-compassion. Can you give yourself those gifts? Can you give yourself that loving, whatever you need for love, whatever is your love language, right? Like I don't actually even love languages very much, but like in this case, like if you're someone that loves to be taken care of with acts of service, like can you order yourself some food this week? Can you buy yourself like a blanket that you've been wanting if you're like a gift person, right? Like how can you love yourself? And I find that for me, when I am complete, when I am taken care of, and I put that beautiful caretaking energy that I'm so good at taking care of others, right? But when I put that on myself, not only do I just feel so good, but I am showing up for everyone else with such a grounded and peaceful and calm and loving energy. And that's how we want to approach the next year, right? Feeling everyone kind of like that cheesy concept about the full cup. It's safe for you to fill your cup. Thank you so much for listening. I could not be more grateful for you and to be along on this journey with you, and wishing you a beautiful rest of the year. Thanks for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to stay updated anytime a new episode drops. And I would love for you to join me in my free Facebook community. It's called The Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. We discuss the podcast episodes. I regularly go live and do free trainings. And you may even meet your newest biz bestie. So you can join at heartcenteredcommunity.com. It's absolutely free, and I cannot wait to see you in there.